We had a pretty good pumpkin harvest this year, so it's time to put some in the freezer. First thing I did to this was wash the outside real good. And this is a Dickinson pumpkin. It's supposed to be a really good pie pumpkin. They get up to 30 pounds. This is kind of in the mid-range. But in order to make some puree, we have to get inside this pumpkin. I'm going to try to use a serrated edge. You can use a regular knife or use a sawing motion with a serrated edge like I've got. Or you can use a cleaver with a mallet. There's lots of different ways you can get inside. I'm going to go lengthwise. Not sure how well this is going to work, but no matter which way you decide to cut into it, just be careful. It's best to use just slow and deliberate movements and always cut away from yourself if possible. Just be careful. Looks like I need to cut some more over here. Now it should come. That looks really good. Now we need to get the seeds out. And there are a couple of different ways you can do that. I'll just go ahead and show you both ways while we're at it. Some people like to use an ice cream scoop. Some people like to use a large spoon. If you use an ice cream scoop, you can kind of use that scraping motion and then pull out seeds like so and put them in a large bowl or something. You can save those seeds and roast them, or you can save some and plant them next year. I'm just going to put all this stuff in a large plastic bowl. But you can kind of get the idea. You can try that ice cream scoop method, but I prefer a large spoon like this one. I think I get a better scraping motion, and I think I get it to come off a lot easier, for me anyway. Everybody has their own favorite way of doing stuff. This is the way I like to do it, with a large spoon. Just want to scrape out all that stringy stuff. I ain't going to bore you by making you watch all of it, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and we'll come back. Here's a quick look at all the stuff I took out. Now it's time to cut these things up a little bit. One thing I thought I should mention, you can also season it a little bit with salt. I'm not going to do that with ours, but you can if you want to. And another thing is I found that a regular blade seemed to work better for me for cutting them up into chunks. I just thought I should mention that. Now we're going to put these on cookie sheets, and in about 45 minutes we'll show you the next step. Here's a look at 1/2 of the pumpkin cut up into pieces, and it fills 1 cookie sheet, so I'm going to need a couple of cookie sheets. And now I'm just going to heat the oven to 300 degrees and put this in there for about 45 minutes or so, and then I'll check on it and see what it looks like then. I just got these out of the oven, and it took a lot longer than I thought it would, and I think the reason it took so long is the walls on this pumpkin were pretty thick, and the pumpkin was pretty good size, and I put the whole pumpkin in the oven at once. And it was also very cold to start with. It came in from outdoors and it was very cold last night. But I just put this on a drying rack with a little warmer to protect the cabinet top here. I'm just going to let these cool for half an hour or so, whatever it takes, and then we'll go on to the next step. Now that they've had time to cool a while, I'm just going to use just a a spoon to separate the good part from the skin. Just scoop it out. And repeat till they're all done. I ended up with a bowl full, and now I'm just going to spoon some into this food processor, our old trusty food processor, and we'll do a few batches until we get it all pureed. That should be enough for the first batch. And once we have it smooth enough, we'll just put this in another bowl and do another batch. Here's a look at the final product. Now it's ready to be put in freezer bags. Now that we've got it all processed, we can put it in freezer bags. And for that, I'm gonna need a little help. I could probably do it by myself, but I think it'll be a lot easier this way. Tanya's helping me out. And another reason to use smaller size freezer bags is because you normally wouldn't need a whole lot of puree for one recipe. 1 or 2 cups would probably be enough. So I'm going to put some in this freezer bag, then we'll go to the next one. Well, this is what the finished product looks like, ready to go in the freezer. I'm just going to leave them on these cookie sheets till they freeze. That way they'll freeze flat and be easier to find a place for them in the freezer. This is one of those things that's easy enough that if I can do it, anybody can do it. Feel free to share any tips you have for freezing pumpkins. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.